Welcome back, David Viscott. What is this next call? I'm not sure what you're saying.
We have Terri, and she's having some problem figuring out her relationships with her father and her grandfather.
Okay, Terri.
Yes, sir. Hi.
Hi, you got to speak up. How old are you?
I'm 36.
What's going on?
Well, I have always known that I was molested by my grandfather. It started when I was about 16 months old, and I just started dealing with it in the past year because it started affecting my life and my behavior. And so I am seeing a therapist and taking Prozac. He says I'm suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder and depression. But this subject has never been talked about in my family. I finally broke down and asked my dad if my grandfather had molested my mother.
You finally broke down and asked your dad if your grandfather had molested your mother?
Right. My parents are divorced.
Okay.
And this is the first time that anyone has ever brought it up. And he, of course, he told me, yes, that my mother had been molested up to the raped and sodomized by my grandfather up until the time they got married. And my dad was in the Navy, so my mother still lived at home after they got married.
You have to speak up. We're losing the line.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, anyway,
So she lived at home while your father was away.
Right. And he was doing this up until the time she got married. So what was to stop him from doing it after she got married? A very sick man.
Are you telling me that your grandfather impregnated your mother?
I think. But I can't prove it. And I can't ask my mom.
Why not?
But she won't talk about it.
Why not?
I don't know. I tried one time, and she said that she didn't believe that we had been molested, my sisters and I.
But she had been molested. Why couldn't she believe that you had been molested?
I don't know.
How old is your mother?
54, I think.
Well, the time has come to talk to that woman. Don't let her get away. Because she's in a great deal of pain herself over this, filled with denial, suppressing all of this information. And when there are multiple abuses in a family, there's also the opportunity for multiple healings.
Yeah.
And that's really critical. Why is this coming to the surface now, may I ask?
Well, I think my grandfather died 2 years ago, and I think that's what did it. I have never been mentally real stable. But about a year ago, it started affecting my behavior, and I got suicidal, and I was crazy. It was affecting my marriage, so I went and sought help and started talking about it. And I'm very open about it now to my sisters. They're not, but I look just like my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
And it would explain a lot of things of why my mother treated me the way she did when I was growing up. She was very hostile toward me.
Well, one of the things you can do is you can have a blood test checked out with your father to see if he's your father.
I can do that?
Sure.
Oh, it'll prove for a fact?
Yes.
Oh, I wonder if he'd do it.
Of course he would.
See, nobody wants to talk about it.
Well, you talk about it.
Pardon?
You talk about it.
I do, and they cut me off.
Well, will your father speak to you?
Just a little. Not much. After I mentioned that, I brought it up again. He said, honey, the past is the past. Just forget about it. And that was the last I heard out of him about it.
Well, it would help you understand yourself better. It would give you some idea of what's going on, and it would be a beacon in the family. They don't want to hear it. They want to keep it all hidden. But you have, in all of us, the unresolved pain of our life doesn't just sit there. It's waiting for an opportunity to display. And your old pain is coming through now. It's saying, resolve me. I can't stand going on like this. I can't stand living this lie. I cannot stand being trapped. I cannot stand being in silence. Release me. Let me speak. Let me validate. Let me express. Let me ventilate. Let me get all the other people in my life aware of the pain. Let me out. And that pain presses on.
I'm also afraid to find out that he might be my father.
You have to run that risk.
I know.
All right, because some part of you already knows.
Yeah.
Okay. Your need is to validate that part, to at least live in the truth, and to come forward with it in the family, because the family is sick, and the family, like every family, is as sick as the lies it holds on to. We'll be right back.